What is up, everyone? It is me, Master Walrus 9, with an update notice for the Dragon Ball Gekishin Squadra. So let's get into it. We are in Season 3, Week 2, and we've officially gotten Season 3.1 patch notes. So let's take a look as to what is happening. Okay, so first things first, did some improvements. They changed so when the game is voided because a player's AFK, that player's rank points are decreased. That's good to hear. So typically if the game was started but then a player went AFK, everyone's point ranks would decrease and their rank would decrease much more, especially. But now if a player is joining into a game and then voiding it immediately, nothing would have happened. Now it's going to be their rank points are going to be decreased, which is nice. A system that applies a penalty to rank points after a change. That change after a battle if a player goes AFK during battle. So it sounds like they are really tackling AFKers this season, which is great to hear. That's been one of the biggest issue. I hate getting an AFK on either side of the field. If it's on your side, well, it sucks because no matter how well you play, a 3 versus 4 is not going to work out in your favor. You might be able to sneak out a win if there's a huge difference in skill, but if you're relatively paced or relatively, matching each other well, being down a player is detrimental. DPS, you're not going to get enough damage out to take out the opponents. Missing out your tank, you're not going to be able to have that survivability and that protection. Missing your tech, you're not going to be able to get the positionings right. So it sucks that they've been having such an issue of AFKers, but it looks like they're addressing it. And finally, a new system has been added that reduces the rank point loss from a defeat for players of high contribution when there's a large difference in contribution among players on the same team. So what that's sounding like, if you're doing a lot and you have an ally that goes AFK or is just lagging out, not doing much, they're not killing enemies, they're not dealing damage, they're not protecting the base, they're gonna get a bunch of points deducted from their score and you're not gonna get as much deducted. So the higher the gap, the less points for you and the more points for them is what it's sounding like. So that's great news to hear. Again, I hate it. You hate the CFKs. It's not fun to happen to your end, and it's not fun to play against. Okay? Because you want to have a good match. You want to have a challenge. If I lost because we were outplayed, but we still had a good match, I'm happy. Because I got to have a good match. So, it's a shame that we've been having such an issue with AFKers, but it looks like they're addressing it. They resolved some issues that have been happening, so let's go take a look. The movement distance of legendary Super Saiyan Broly's gigantic stomp at skills level 2 and 3 was unintentionally shorter than it was in Season 2. So Broly seemed to have an issue where his legendary stomp, that's his skill 2 if I'm correct, gigantic stomp, the distance was shorter once you got to level 2 and level 3. So it sounds like they fixed that. If players have Super Saiyan Vegeta or Piccolo available, they'll be unable to claim the battle tutorial completion reward from the notice. The source of this issue has been confirmed and addressed with the start of Season 3. The applicable notice has been sent to those who have completed the battle tutorial by the approved time. We ask that those who haven't claimed their gift yet check their notices again. So if you completed the tutorial in the early states, you were able to get a set of Vegeta and you were able to get a set of Piccolo. If you already had those characters, then there was some sort of bug occurring where you're unable to obtain those. If you already have those characters and you get them, that's an additional 5,000 memories. So it's good that they're respecting the players by ensuring that they get their due desserts. After data updates, the game may occasionally crash before returning to the home screen. So sounds like they fixed that issue. Typically in the past, you just had to restart the game and you'd be fine. Missions battle using trial heroes one time. Achievement indicator does not appear on the results screen after completion. Additionally, the lobby screen continues to display 01. So it seemed like it was a visual error. They did fix that. You're still getting that credit for the trial heroes. Occasionally, a 1001 error will appear and return you to the title screen. Sounds like they solved that. When the frame rate set to 120 FPS or higher, attacks may not hit in training mode. Fix that. If you activate the Spirit Sword immediately after hitting Flash Dodge as Super Vegito, you may not receive the extra HP from Shining Fusion. So they fixed that. So they made a bunch of fixes to some issues. More of them were quality of life or some crashing situations, which weren't major crashes, but it's good to see that they're addressing that. Also in the news, they've added a new game mode. So they have added Sword Delivery. I'm not going to go too much into it because I'm not the biggest fan of the alternative game modes. If you have a good time with that, absolutely go for it. But I just don't play them. I like to play the original Gekishin Squadra modes. But what it is Sword Delivery is kind of like a reverse capture the flag, where you want to get the Z sword and you want to bring it to the enemy's side. So it's capture the flag in the sense that you are bringing it to a side. It's just reverse because you're bringing it to the opponent's side. You're going to have your allies protect you as you're moving across. And yeah, again, I'd say it might be worth a tryout. I'm probably not going to play it too much, but it does look good. They were hyping this up in the, I don't know what they called it. Like the Direct? I think Direct's a good term for that. But, yeah. Let's see what else. Oh, rank results came in. So if you were A rank in your respective rank, you're going to get a reward, such as a max Gekishin burst animation. So A ranks for technicals will get a max Gekishin burst, tanks will get a max Gekishin burst, and damage will get a max Gekishin burst. A rank or above, you know, A4 plus. And if you're A rank for all three of them, then your player rank was A. And if you had a player rank of A, you got the helper Vola, who was a alternative for Bubbles, the quick zone. So it's good to see that. Credit being done where it's due. I didn't manage to make it out this year. I got my tank to A rank, but I just didn't have enough good matches. A lot of it was on my end to get my tech and my tech and my damage. I think my tech was a B1 and my damage was a B2, something like that. Let's see, what else do we got? Oh, they have some issues going on. So, when unlocking heroes via the shop or their hero details, players are unable to select the max Gekishin burst animation and customize the default one. Logging out and logging back into the game will resolve this issue. Voices and sound effects that play during the home screen idle animation continue to play despite navigating to other screens. Upon the vanishing step, to enter and exit an enemy god's destruction area within a very short period of time, the burst icon may fail to revert to a skill icon, preventing skills from activating. If this occurs, re-enter and exit the enemy god's destruction area to resolve the issue. I've had that happen to me before, where I guess I didn't know what caused it, but I guess it was because of the vanishing step. I was unable to use a skill. I was locked into the max Gekishin burst or the Gekishin burst icons, and those don't do anything if you're not within the god of destruction range. So it's good that they've acknowledged that issue. It only happened to me once, so it's good that they acknowledged it. Looking forward to seeing that be updated. We got a couple of things left to talk about. So first up, we have this week's trial heroes. So first up on the DPS scene, we're looking at Deborah. Deborah is a close range hero that focuses on turning people to stone. Once their opponents are stoned, they are very much in a weaker state because one, they can't move, they can't fight back, and two, they just seem to take more damage. So he is honestly one of my favorite bottom paths to go with, because tanks tend to not have a higher damage output and want to get into prolonged fights. So it's good. He's good. I like him. The one way you can kind of get rid of stone is using the vanishing flash technique. That does cut like half of it, 50% of it away. But you can just simply keep fighting, I guess. So, it's kind of hard to explain. You just play him, you'll feel him. Topo. I did a Topo video, so feel free to check him out. But he's fun. So he's what I would call a battle tank, where his focus is not on hitting the opponent's god of destruction, but just killing opponents. He wants to deal damage, kind of like Broly. He's got a high health pool, low movement speed, and a lot of damage that can be put out. It comes from his poison or chip effects that pop off on each skill. They do stacked, and they give each other more damage when you hit. They allow you to follow at your opponent even faster. So he is a awesome tank. He just got demoted to tier 2 because he was one of the earlier characters they added, and they like to keep that fresh and alternated. But he was one of the first tier 1 characters I picked up. So I'm a fan. I enjoy him. Next up on tank time is Baby. So Baby's pretty good for a tank in my opinion, especially if the super start skill. He can do some pretty good damage with energy explosion. He can move enemies away with finger blitz barrage, which offers him amazing defense. The possession of allies is honestly one of the greatest skills, because if you're in good communication with an ally, you're going to be able to heal him up. So if you got something like a Topo or a Broly, and again, Topo's one of those free characters, they're going to be able to keep fighting for even longer by just dealing damage. So that's always good. Taking a look, it seems like we have her every week. Caulifla is another one. I'm not going to go on too much because I talk about her every single time, but she draws attention and she just loves to fight. So she's good. She's a good option. In tech, we are looking at Boo Boo. Boo Boo is pretty good. I wasn't a big fan of him at first, but now that I figured out some of his better features, I do like him. Being able to heal yourself when you apply damage and debuffs is super nice. Strangle Gum is a great support option for debuffing the opponents, and Healing Ray is a great option for assisting your allies. You just give them a little bit of health. So anyone who has a lot of higher health, such as Topo, Broly, maybe even some of your tanks, if you want to do a tech tank combo, you got some options there. So I'm a fan of Boo Boo. I think it's a good try. And then we got Frieza. Frieza's a very interesting technical character. He sets up minions in order to attack. He's got Zarbon, who's in a cone shape, shoots out beams. Dodoria, who in a straight line will push enemies away. And then Imperial Decree will boost the attack speed and the movement speed of people in the domain. So he's really good. I like him. I think he's one of those ones that you need to learn heavily, but a good Frieza is insane towards the team. They can do a lot of assistance. If you're in a position where you're unable to break through, Dodoria and Zarbon at a high level are able to help with that, like another character. His super attack is great at a team wipe, and if you need to run defense, Dodoria and Zarbon are great options for running that D. So we got some pretty good options with our characters over here. So I think this week's trial characters are pretty solid. I think Topo being the quote-unquote higher tier character, being the higher tier character is nice to see. We just got Super Saiyan Free Son Goku for free. So who's this week's free character? And we are looking at Kid Gohan, who arguably is one of the best technicals before Adult Gohan came in. Before Adult Gohan came in, because Adult Gohan is one of the most oppressive forces in the game right now. Kid Gohan was arguably one of the best forces just by the amount of support he can offer. His friendship boost, being able to buff his allies' attack and defense, is amazing. His Masenko being able to push the opponents is great defensively. His Masen Kyaku, it's solid. It's not the skill I typically go towards, but you're going to be able to apply no skills, which is an amazing technique. The Leave Dust to me is an extra layer of defense, which helps your allies stay alive. So he offered a ton of support. So it was a little bit higher tech, especially the Exploding Rage and Shattering Beam. It's an interesting combo to figure out how that works. But all in all, he's a great character. Is he a little low from what we've been getting? Yes, but also I was surprised in how spoiled we have been. You know, we got characters like we just got Super Saiyan Free Goku. We got Cell. We got what else did we get? We got Hit. Hit was a free character. I think we got Gotenks as a free character. We got a ton of amazing free characters. So I don't think someone who's lower tier like Gohan, and lower tier by terms of obtaining them via the star ranking system. Someone who's a lower tier just in the star ranking system, I don't think that's anything bad. That's 5,000 free memories for you if you already have them. And there's nothing wrong with that. So anyways, I think this is gonna about cover it for this episode of Squadra Update. I think if I wanted to add one last detail, Vegito was fine. You know, we just got Super Vegito. I don't think I've been having a lot of issues in fighting him just yet. Can he absolutely deal some damage? Yes. But also, I think he's too high tech, and I'm playing in the lower tiers because the season has restarted. So, I think he's fine for now. Yeah. I'm not too stressed. Anyways, that's I think that's gonna do it. Let's get to it. So let me know if there's anything you want me to talk about in terms of Gekishin Squadra. I'm enjoying the game. I'm about to go play out some rounds right now and get my rank up. Hopefully we can see each other on the battlefield. You let me know what you want. As always, my friends, stay sloppy and have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.